Out Here is proudly sponsored by Lake Mead Hospital Medical Center.
Catmandu.
It's me? No.
That's the
No, it's not.
My name's Kathy, and I'm a drummer, but I play also rhythm guitar and sing.
Hi, people call me Sister. I play bass, backup vocals.
Call her Teresa. She sings,
Or T,
plays
or-
guitar. This is Doe. She's the percussionist.
And they don't talk.
Right. And my name is Craig. They call me the governor.
Access denied. Formerly Heartthrob.
Now we're
Hey,
Francesca
wait your
Fury.
turn to speak, please.
Sorry.
Francesca Fury.
We went to
But-
school together. We grew up together.
Yeah.
Then we got bored in Texas. Hey, but Texas rocks.
Texas rules.
Okay, so does Vegas. And we came here and formed this band. And thank God everyone's still with us.
Band.
Doe's probably the most talented one out of the whole entire band here.
She plays her part perfect all the time.
All right, Doug,
Never a mistake.
how did you first get into music since we're picking on you now?
I wanted to entertain my parents, so they bought me a drum set.
In my hometown, everybody kept telling me, girls don't play drums, so I did it anyway. My father was a professional trumpet player, so that got me going.
We play psycho, hardcore, thrash, punk rock. Yeah. We all used to have our heads shaved, but not anymore.
Craig and Doe, they're
Oh,
bringing it out,
yeah.
but,
We,
you know.
we got the thing going here.
CD, and another one, we're going to do a 12-song CD and hopefully really soon.
A full feature album.
I don't know. I think all our music's really original. I don't think we really sound like anybody else. I think we have a great sound. We're different from everybody. And I think that's what makes us stand out more.
Could you show us how different you are?
It's kind of hard to even categorize our music because we're not alternative. We're not heavy metal. We're not, you know, I don't even know. I guess we can make up our own, you know, since there's many different rock names now, you know, alternative, pop, rock, heavy metal, thrash. What are we?
Confused.
Confused?
Original.
You have to see the show.
We have our own originality.
Yeah.
Few of the
We're
main
trying to do our
bands
own
that
thing and not
really
sound
good.
like anybody else. That's the main thing right there, is you want to sound like yourself. Not copy any other group out in the market. Just you want to have your own sound, your own style. That's where it's at.
We like to do parties, and we do some benefits, you know. So if you'd like to get a hold of us, call me at 320-1249. I'm Teresa. Talk to me, and I'll talk to you.
We want to create what today's music is going to be. That's what we want to do.
Tomorrow's music.
Actually, tomorrow's music. Tomorrow's
And the
music.
day after that.
But Francesca Fury, I got that from the Kids in the Hall. It's one of the characters in the show that I liked. It was a mysterious kind of character, classy, a little elegant. I figured that would be a good name to go with the theme of being in an all-women band, pretty much. So decided to go with Francesca Fiore.
See, this character in Kids in the Hall, he's just a big old queen sitting at a freaking bar, just doing this thing, you know, talking the stories about
Different
the queen
characters.
and he's a princess, you know, and he acts so. He's great. So and that's his name in the show, and we thought we'd go with Francesca Fiore.
Can't you see what has happened to me? You can't stop the shivering. When you touch me, my body's
My name's John. I go by John because there's so many of us. I'm a bartender because it's fun. It's a lot of fun. More people should have a job where they have fun. Let's see, I'm 252 in dog years. If you really want to know, figure it out yourself. What was the next one? Rank?
Right.
No. I'm very single. As far as what I look for in a man, gotta have fun. It's all about fun. I don't really have a type. It's the entire package. Just a couple weeks ago, and like I tell people, I've been doing this for a long time. You kind of think that you've seen it all. Somebody that comes along and blows it right out of the water. I had an older gentleman come in, sit down at the bar, order a drink. A few minutes later, he asked me for a club soda with no ice, and I'll bring it to him. He goes, "Oh, thank you, my teeth are killing me. I've just got to soak them." And he sat there when I was standing right in front of him, popped those bad dogs out, top and bottom, and plunked them in the glass. I mean, his chin was hitting his nose. And it's not very often I'm really at a loss for words. This time I was just, I just turned around, got him a plastic cup and said, "Please, put those in here." You know, a lot of men kind of have a fantasy about a man with no teeth, but you don't need to advertise it right on the bar. If I were in the position to give advice, I'd be a lawyer or a doctor, or I wouldn't be a bartender. But of course, I do have my opinions, and I'm always right. Just ask me. It's all about fun. Gotta have fun. The most important thing to do in your life is to enjoy yourself. Whether it involves other people or doing things for other people or whatever makes you happy, you gotta do it. Oh, it'd be a martini.
Absolutely.
Although, you know what? I would love to serve Bill Clinton we have these big 16-ounce Bud Lights, big mouth on them, 2 batteries, give it a name, call it a date. He'd love it. I work graveyard on Mondays. We have a really killer karaoke. It's really busy. It's a lot of fun. Get some good singers. And I work Thursday, Friday, Saturday swing shift. It's 2 to 10. And I work Sunday and Monday graveyard. It's a fun bar, but on the slower nights, the weeknights is when we really have some fun, when it's not real busy and there's just, 5 or 10 people in here and we can really carry on. I'm a big old car freak, and I've got a bunch of cars. And I don't work on them because I don't have the patience, and I always end up with spare parts. But, I have an old car that it's about the same age as I am, and if I had been buffed and polished as much as this car has, well, I wouldn't be single, and I'd be real shiny.
Fig Leaf, where sensational clothing and great-looking guys come together. At the Fig Leaf, we have fantastic summer clothing, from mild to wild for those sizzling days at the lake or poolside to exciting Las Vegas by night. We have you covered or uncovered. There's only one place for the look that will get you noticed, the Fig Leaf. We are famous for our sexy, unique men's clothing. So come on in and see why we are #1 in Nevada.
Lawrence's Furniture Gallery, the cure for the common furniture store. 60,000 square feet of unique furniture. 3 locations: Art Deco, leather, dinettes, home theater, and much more.
Welcome to Lake Mead Hospital Medical Center. At Lake Mead, we celebrate the diversity of our community. Whether it be cultural or religious differences or sexual orientation, our entire staff has been trained to be focused on diversity. So it doesn't matter who a person is, what a person does, or what they need. If you or a loved one need medical attention, Lake Mead Hospital is here to help. Call for a physician referral and be directed to a doctor who is sensitive to the diversity of our community.
Hello everybody, my name is Scandelabra. I'm here this morning for Out Here, interviewing my very good friend, famed Parisian cabaret artist, Ruda Linska. She's still sleeping. She was so nervous about being interviewed, she took too many tranquilizers. Let's go wake her up. Good morning, darling. Ruda, time to wake up. Rise and shine. I ordered you a double espresso. It will help you talk, darling. It will help you enunciate.
Good morning. You know, one does need a beauty sleep every night to look their best. Oh, hello, everybody. I'm so glad you're all with me today. I'm tickled pink that you're here so I can tell you a little bit about myself while we have our morning coffee. I can hardly wait.
Rudalinska, what does it mean?
Well, sweetie, that's me. That's my name. That's what I call myself. It's Rudalinska with an A.
But how did it all begin?
Well, I'm not really sure. But I think it was about the age of 5. I discovered I loved to dress up in things that were absolutely glamorous and fantastic. But sometimes I couldn't find things that were fantastic, so I simply created them myself out of sheets. By the age of 8, I became a master sheet draper. I could make anything out of a sheet without cutting or sewing, simply draping, tucking, and wrapping. This came in very handy later on when I became a full-fledged drag queen.
Well, now that's talent. Well, darling, tell us about performing.
I went to college, and I studied merchandising, and I joined a display team in a department store. I loved it, but I was bored, so I started tap classes. I love my tap classes. And after a year of tap classes, I started doing community theater. Community theater was fabulous, so exciting, so many different parts to play. It was great. But I couldn't really dance, so I started taking ballet classes. Well, the more ballet I took, tap sort of fell to the wayside. I moved to New York, and after a few years of serious studying and a few off Broadway shows, I got a job with the Alcazar de Paris.
God bless you.
And it was wonderful. They flew us to Paris for 2 months where we rehearsed, and then we came here to Las Vegas and performed at the Desert Inn for 7 months. It was really wonderful, and it changed my whole perspective of entertaining. I love the Parisian cabaret. It was so exciting. It was so crazy. The numbers, the characters, the personas, it was fabulous. To me, cabaret was so glamorous, and it was so full of drag. It was all a wonderful mixture.
Darling, we know you love the glamour, but tell us about the drag.
Well, after the Alcazar de Paris, I moved back to Paris, and I worked at the Moulin Rouge for 2 years, 3 years, something like that. Anyway, after the show, we would go to these clubs at night, and one of my favorites was the Scorpion. It was on Rue Saint-Denis, just on the other side of the little arch between the red light district. And it was a very colorful neighborhood and a very colorful club. It was 2 levels below the street, and it was one of those caves, you know, those caves like that has the bricks in it and all that. Very charming, very small, and they used to have these drag shows at night, and the drag queens were so dramatic. They would come up with these incredible numbers that just totally entertained us. There was this one performer that I remember very distinctly. He used to come out with his eyelids shut, and he would paint eyeballs on his eyelids. And he came out singing this song about how he was blind. Oh, okay. And during the middle of the song, darling, a miracle happened. He could see, his eyes started fluttering, and he opened his eyes, and he saw. It was so dramatic. But I myself didn't really start doing drag until I went... I told you to hold all calls!
It's that Bill guy.
Oh, it must be important. Hello? Oh, hello, Mr. President. No, I returned all the gifts except one. You know that diamond ring? Anyway, I can't speak. I'm being filmed. He hung up. The nerve. Anyway, where was I? Something about when I moved back to the States, I didn't start doing drag until I started this job that I was bored at. So a friend of mine said, why don't we go to this meeting of the Imperial Court? The Imperial Court was an organization in New York. It was all drags that would do benefits to raise money for charities. One of the big benefits they had was a Night of 1,000 Gowns, a big drag ball in New York City, held at one of the big hotels. It was very grand. Anyway, I went to the meeting, I liked all the people, and I started doing drag in about a month. We were doing all these shows, raising money for charities. It was great. I took to it like a duck to water. So, ever since then, I've sort of changed. I've sort of evolved, you know, but fashion changes, so I'll change.
Could we see some of your pictures?
Well, of course, sweetie. They're right here. How convenient for us. Oh. You know, I've been photographed by some very famous photographers. This one right here was taken by Remsen Wolf in New York. He is now writing a book on drag queens and transgender lifestyles. Last time I spoke to him, he was just writing the text on that book. Just this last year, this book was published. It's called Persona. It's been done by Susan Brown. I have my picture in here, a whole page. It's very flattering. Then a friend of mine saw it at Tower Records over on Maryland Parkway. So hopefully people can still buy it there. And of course here in New York, or in Las Vegas, I've been photographed by Carlo Rencancio. He does wonderful work. He's a lot of fun to work with.
So tell us, what shows have you done in Las Vegas?
Well, when I first got to Las Vegas, I did Torch Song Trilogy at the Cave Cabaret. It was a lot of fun. I played the part of Arnold. Oh, God, it was so many lines to learn, but it was a lot of fun. Then I had my own show at the glamorous Backdoor Lounge, and I was in the cast of Guys Will Be Dolls at the Continental. It was a great show. The cast was fabulous. We had a great time behind stage and on stage. And I did I was a lead show girl, and I did Marilyn Monroe. It was a lot of fun. And now I'm working on a wonderful little review going to be at the Keys Cabaret Lounge on East Sahara Avenue to be out maybe end of next month. Oh my God, look what time it is. I have an eyebrow waxing in half an hour. Oh. Darlings, I have to run. Darling, thank you for being here today. It was fabulous. And I hope to see you very soon so I can introduce you to a lot of my lovely friends here in Las Vegas. A biento, darlings. Bye.
Bye.
The Tiger Lily Flower Shop, serving our community for over 12 years, is proud to be the local source for your special gifts from the heart. We're the highest quality flower shop in Las Vegas, providing individual service in or out of town. Our talented staff will meet your needs and accept your diversity. At the Tiger Lily, we send emotions. You will feel welcome and appreciated at either Tiger Lily location. See our ad in the Yellow Pages.
Welcome to Lake Mead Hospital Medical Center. At Lake Mead, we celebrate the diversity of our community. Whether it be cultural or religious differences or sexual orientation, our entire staff has been trained to be focused on diversity. So it doesn't matter who a person is, what a person does, or what they need. If you or a loved one need medical attention, Lake Mead Hospital is here to help. Call for a physician referral and be directed to a doctor who is sensitive to the diversity of our community.
Hi, I'm Dr. Teresa Berry, and I'm here to tell you the truth about chiropractic. Chiropractors believe in the following principles. Number one, that the brain communicates information to the body through the nervous system, which controls every function of the body. Number two, that the human body is a self-healing organism. For example, if you cut your hand, it'll automatically heal. And number three, that the human body is self-regulating. For example, your heart beats 35 million times a year without you ever telling it to beat. The brain does it automatically. Since chiropractors are interested in health and wellness, let's look at some definitions of health. Webster's tells us that in order to be healthy, you have to have all of your body parts functioning 100% all of the time. Now, the only component of this definition that we have the ability to control or change is function. And a chiropractor's purpose is to remove interference, allowing for the possibility of increased function, not just for the treatment of symptoms. It states in Dorland's Medical Dictionary that health is a state of optimum physical, mental, and social well-being, not merely the absence of symptom or disease. For instance, the first sign of heart disease in almost 60% of the cases is heart attack. So why do we become sick? When the communication process is interfered with, the necessary information traveling from the brain to the body to keep it functioning properly becomes decreased, therefore causing the body to malfunction, which leads to sickness. And this interference is caused by a subluxation. A subluxation is a condition in the spine where abnormal movement of the vertebrae causes nerve interference and decreased function. We call it dis-ease. The key factor to remember is not the amount of pressure on a nerve, but the amount of time that it has gone undetected and therefore uncorrected. The longer the nerve interference remains, the more degeneration and overall breakdown occurs, which results in more time, effort, and money spent trying to repair and restore the damage that's been done. So early detection is a key for a greater chance of correction and reducing the daily stresses placed on the body. If you know you have any physical, chemical, or emotional stress in your everyday life, call my office and check out how we can help.
Well, my name is David de Alba. I was born originally in Cuba. I lived for many years in San Francisco, California. At that time, I was working at the world-famous Finocchio Club. I was hired to be a solo act. I sang in Spanish and English in an act which was called for me Boy Chick, and I also did my Judy Garland act and Liza Minnelli on the stage. I was doing Judy since the late 60s in Chicago. I was very fortunate at that time being a teenager. Yes, I was a teenager once or twice, to have met Judy, the real Judy, live 3 times in my life, which through the internet I keep telling people what a pleasure it was, because a lot of fans who became acquainted with her after she died, they never got to see her. The first time I got to see Judy was at the opening of Gay Paris, the movie she did with Robert Goulet in a cartoon form, and she came. It's a very intricate story that we should take probably about half an hour. Her entrance from the back of the theater, dressed in a beautiful lavender sleek gown, and she walked on the stage, and she took a bow, and she says, "I'm sure you all are very disappointed. I was a cat in this movie. I didn't get to be myself. But anyway, I'm here tonight." And when she took a bow, a brooch fell off from her waist to the floor, and she picked the brooch up and she said, "I have lost more things in my life." And then a second time I got to meet her, not quite to meet her, but to see her in person, was at the Erie Crown Theater in Chicago. I tried to bring her when she was at her best, like Jim Bailey does, at her best on the stage, so that people can see what a masterful person she was, especially to some of the gay people from the 60s that did attend the theater, and she became their heroine because she brought parts of her life of sadness, broken marriages, and how she became like a phoenix. When she was down, she became up, and she was down, she came up again, and she performed when she was sick. In comparison to the old days, they do not understand why Judy was so special, not just as a singer, but as a symbol that lifted a lot of the people. And I'm sure some of the people over 45 they know what I'm talking about. I never pretend to recreate Judy because, first of all, you can't recreate the master. All I can do is just try to bring maybe 40% of what I can do with my talent to people who have never seen her so they can see part of the glamour. Here we have some of the original arrangements that Judy used at her concerts at Carnegie Hall, at Palladium in London, the Palace Theatre in New York, arrangement by Mort Lindsay, the songs What Now My Love. Here's an original pair of shoes that Judy wore, believed to be from her last movie, I Could Go On Singing, when she sang the song Hello Bluebird, which I purchased at the Judy Garland auction. Here's a photograph purchased at the Judy Garland Sid Loft auction of one of Judy's personal photographs that she had in her home in Bel Air, and here's a check signed by her. I do have a little accent, so if Judy was alive, she would say, "This is David de Alba's Cuban representation of me."
I believe that since my life began, the most I have was just a talent to amuse. Just go along until sundown. Here's the rundown. Every day that comes once in a lifetime. Take each day and gather the rosebuds in it. Feel each minute. Every day that comes once in a lifetime. No one knows better than I myself. I'm by myself alone. Rockabye, rockabye, baby, with the Dixie melody. Weep no more, my lady, sing that song again for me. Sing on the song, just a song. You have me on your knee. A million baby kisses I'll deliver. That minute that you play the Swanee River. Rockabye, you rockabye baby. With my Dixie.
Out Here is proudly sponsored by Lake Mead Hospital Medical Center.
Well, my name is David de Alba. I was born originally in Cuba. I lived for many years in San Francisco, California. At that time, I was working at the world-famous Finocchio Club. I was hired to be a solo act. I sang in Spanish and English in an act which was called for me Boy Chick, and I also did my Judy Garland act and Liza Minnelli on the stage. I was doing Judy since the late 60s in Chicago. I was very fortunate at that time, being a teenager. Yes, I was a teenager once or twice, to have met Judy, the real Judy, live 3 times in my life, which through the internet, I keep telling people what a pleasure it was, because a lot of fans who became acquainted with her after she died, they never got to see her. The first time I got to see Judy was at the opening of Gay Paris, the movie she did with Robert Goulet in a cartoon form, and she came. It's a very intricate story that would take probably about half an hour. Her entrance from the back of the theater, dressed in a beautiful lavender sleek gown, and she walked on the stage, and she took a bow, and she says, "I'm sure you all are very disappointed. I was a cat in this movie. I didn't get to be myself. But anyway, I'm here tonight." And when she took a bow, a brooch fell off from her waist to the floor, and she picked the brooch up, and she said, "I have lost more things in my life." And then a second time I got to meet her, not quite to meet her, but to see her in person, was at the Erie Crown Theater in Chicago. I tried to bring her when she was at her best, like Jim Bailey does, at her best on the stage, so that people can see what a masterful person she was, and especially to some of the gay people from the 60s that did attend the theater, and she became their heroine because she brought parts of her life of sadness, broken marriages, and how she became like a phoenix. When she was down, she became up, and she was down, she came up again, and she performed when she was sick. In comparison to the old days, they do not understand why Judy was so special, not just as a singer, but as a symbol that lifted a lot of the people. And I'm sure some of the people over 45, they know what I'm talking about. I never pretend to recreate Judy because, first of all, you can't recreate the master. All I can do is just try to bring maybe 40% of what I can do with my talent to people who have never seen her, so they can see part of the glamour. Here we have some of the original arrangements that Judy used at her concerts at Carnegie Hall, at Palladium in London, the Palace Theatre in New York, arrangement by Mort Lindsay, the songs What Now My Love. Here's an original pair of shoes that Judy wore, believed to be from her last movie, I Could Go On Singing, when she sang the song Hello Bluebird, which I purchased at the Judy Garland auction. Here's a photograph purchased at the Judy Garland Sid Loft auction of one of Judy's personal photographs that she had in her home in Bel Air. And here's a check signed by her. I do have a little accent, so if Judy was alive, she would say, "This is David de Alba's Cuban representation of me."
Talent to amuse. If love were every day, just go along until sundown. Here's the rundown. Every day that comes once in a lifetime. Take each day and gather the rosebuds in it. Feel each minute. Every day that comes once in a lifetime. No one knows better than I myself. I'm by myself alone. Rockabye, rockabye, baby, with a Dixie melody. Weep no more, my lady, sing that song again for me. Sing on, brother, just a song you have me on your knee. A million baby kisses I'll
Out Here is proudly sponsored by Lake Mead Hospital Medical Center.
I'll face the unknown. I'll build a world of my own. No one knows better than I myself. I'm by myself alone. I'll go my way by myself. Here's how the comedy ends. I'll have to deny myself love and laughter and friends. Gray clouds in the skies above have put a blotch on my fun. I'll have to fly high above for my place in the sun, and I'll face the unknown. I'll build a world of my own. No one knows better than I myself. No one knows better than I myself. How I wanted love and failed. Now I say, what the hell? All of those black days are gone. 'Cause it's so low, all alone, by myself. From rockabye your baby with a Dixie melody. When you croon tuna. Oh, I made a mistake. Let's start again. Yes. This hit. I forgot. Rockabye your baby with a Dixie melody. When you croon a tune from the heart of Dixie. Just hang my cradle, many mine, right on that Mason-Dixon line, and swing it from Virginia to Tennessee. With all the love that's in ya, weep no more, my lady. Sing that song again for me. Sing on Georgia, just as though you have me on your knees. A million baby kisses I'll deliver the minute that you play that Swanee River. rockabye, rockabye lady in the Dixie melody. Weep no more, my lady, sing that song again for me. Sing on the song, just a song you have me on your knee. A million baby kisses I'll deliver. Got me the Dr. Blazer, Swanee River. Rockabye, you rockabye lady in the Dixie. So many times before, and no residuals, mind you. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams we share to dream really do come true. Someday I wish I could stop and pick up the clouds are far behind me, where troubles milk the flaming drops and right above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly over the rainbow. Why, then oh why can't I? I made it through the rainbow, thanks to you. We can all make it, you know. If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow,